Josh, back in training. How
Hello.
have the first few days been?
Yeah, it's been tough. It's sort of been different for me. Obviously, still continuing rehab, so it's still pre-season, but a different type. But just enjoying to be back out and hear the lads and be back on the grass.
Can you talk us a bit through the injury? Last we saw you were at the end of season awards on crutches, and obviously, you're free moving now, so that's a good sign.
I had a hip injury, sort of for the past 4 years, and I was able to manage it with injections and painkillers, but sort of in and around Christmas time, it just got to the stage where the painkillers and injections weren't working anymore. So it was just more the case to make sure that we were in a position where I could go and get surgery. And that happened sort of towards the end of last season. So I managed to go under the knife, and I think that'll be about 12 to 16 weeks in total. So I don't think there's a better time to do it over pre-season. So it worked out pretty well.
And what's it like being back around the boys as well? It's been a while since you've seen them, obviously.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. It's just the same. Listen, it's pre-seasons that come and go. You know what I mean? That's how footballers merit their lives. It's pre-seasons, not years. So it's been great. You need a break. You get away from each other. Last season was pretty intense. Roller coaster season that we had, but coming back in and doing our job, it's what we've always dreamt of doing since we were kids, so it's always good to see familiar faces.
And how was your summer as well? I guess a lot of rehab as well as some well-deserved rest.
It was, yeah. It was a different one, as I say. Even though I wasn't playing, I was still in the gym and I was still working. Sort of kids and I are older, so they've taken over and dictate what me and my wife do in the summer holidays. So went away with the boys for a couple of football trips and just had some quality family time. So all around it was a great summer.
You signed a contract extension at the end of last season for another year with us. Was that an easy decision to make?
It was, yeah. Sort of the environment that I came into at the start of the season was exactly what the gaffer said. I had a platform that I could play and sort of help the team, not just on the pitch but off the pitch. And when the opportunity came to extend, it was an easy decision for me to take.
You forged a pretty strong relationship with the City fans as well last season. Was that something else that kind of helped you make that decision?
Yeah, of course. Listen, obviously being in and about the town and about the city, when you from being so far away from home and what you're used to, when you're taken into the community, it always makes the transition so much easier. So when I'm down here, even though I'm down here alone, I've managed to make a few friends, and that sort of helped me sort of bed in and sort of take in the culture. So yeah, being taken on by the fan base is obviously massive. It helps, and it makes it easier for you to play. No one wants to be the villain, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was been fantastic. So long may it continue.
And 13 goals in all competitions for you last season. How did you find it personally?
Yeah, obviously, listen, double figures is always what you want to get. As a striker, you always want more. You want to be greedy. So of course, I'm trying to look to try and get that again next season. Hopefully, push on and sort of push on more. I think obviously some of the goals came in the cup games as well. So just trying to add more to obviously keep sort of the cup games, but add more to my league goals as well. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back on the grass and taking opportunities again.
And speaking of the FA Cup, you finished as top scorer from the first round proper onwards. That must be a pretty special achievement.
It was great. Listen, and that's testament sort of to not just myself but the team and how we set up. And I'm always feel confident with ability when chances come my way, I'll be able to take them. And playing in this team, they created chances for me multiple times this season. So it's a fantastic accolade to myself to take. It's just something that the kids buzz over now when they're watching sort of bragging rights at school. So yeah, it was a nice touch at the end of the season.
We saw you as captain quite a lot last season while Sweens was out injured. Do you enjoy being a leader, and do you see that's something you can do a bit more this season, just leading?
Yeah, I think if you ask the majority of the squad, talking nonsense comes easy to me. You know what I mean? I don't have to be encouraged to speak up, but I think sort of that comes from obviously the career I've had, the experiences being captain before. Not just experiencing the highs of the game, also the lows and how to manage that. And I think the gaffer sort of trusts not just me but also the other senior lads to do that. But yeah, to wear an armband at any club is a great honour, and to do it here was absolutely massive. But when Skip comes back, obviously he'll be the captain, but if that's not the case, yeah, I'll be honoured to do it again.
And Kieran Wilson, a young forward who's at the very start of his career. Saw you out here this morning, just guiding him through some bits. Is that something that you like to do as well with the younger players? Yeah,
I just remember being in his position when you go from playing under 23s football and you sign your first pro contract and you go into men's football. The expectation and demands are a lot different. So it's also it's trying to motivate him and keep him on his toes without dampening his spirit. Just sort of as what happened to me when I was coming through. I had a lot of important people in my life at important times, especially in football. So I'm just trying to be that shoulder to lean on. Whether he listens or not, that's up to him. But I think you have a responsibility when you've experienced so much in the game to try and pass that on. So yeah, Kieran's one I'll be looking out for.
And at this stage of your career, you've played, clubs at different levels. Yeah. How does Exeter City compare to those parts of your career?
Probably for me, one of the best in terms of corporation of fans, corporation of how the manager wants you to be with the staff, the open and the honesty. That's what the gaffer said he wanted when we came into the club, and that's been sort of a staple since I've signed here. playing with younger players, I'm sort of used to playing with senior pros and sort of people your own age, so having to adapt in an environment and sort of change your outlook and how you're playing, it's challenged me in ways, not just on the pitch but off the pitch, and it's been brilliant. Obviously looking into my coaching now as well, the club's helped me with that massively, Dan Greener, Nico, and obviously the gaffer and Perks, so sort of all round it's been an absolutely brilliant experience and one I want to continue on, so I'm looking forward to it. But signing here, I didn't want to be the cliche where you're in your 30s and you come to Exeter and you sort of filter out of the game. That's never me. I'm always looking for new challenges and I'm trying to progress my game. I'm not a polished diamond, so and that's what I'm looking to do this season, and then sort of seasons after that.
And do you still get that same buzz now as you did 10 years ago for a new season kicking off?
100%. Yeah, listen, I've been fortunate enough, football's been my career and my only career, so to be able to do something that you love and to have the experiences to go along with that has been absolutely amazing. So I take nothing for granted, because as quick as it comes, it can be taken away from you. Football does not wait for anybody. So as long as you're in the professional game, you've got to take advantage of it. I'm a bit more grumpy as I got older, probably, yeah. But yeah, I still enjoy it just as much as I did when I first put on a pair of football boots.
And as one of our senior players, how do you keep yourself physically and mentally ready for the demands of another League One season?
It's sort of different. I've been around boys where they love football and they can't get away from it. They're always analysing, they're always watching, which I always do, but for me, I just love getting out and having a walk, trying to get away from it as much as I can. I'm into darts, I'm into snooker, not overly fussed on golf, but just try and take myself off and watch and get involved in other sports, because football, when you're in it for 9-10 months of the season, it's crucial, Alongside
here, you've had a really long, successful international career with Northern Ireland, and is this upcoming season really important for you on that quest to hit 100 caps?
Yeah, listen, I haven't been shy and saying I want to get 100 caps. I was disappointed, obviously, to be left out of the friendlies. Michael said he needed to see other players, which I totally get and understand. But as a player, you want to be involved in every single squad, so it's probably given me a bit more impetus in trying to get back into that squad. The World Cup qualifiers are coming up. First game's against Luxembourg away, and then it's away to Germany, so it's a tough double header. So I'm hoping that my performances here at Exeter will put me sort of on the map again to go and play international football, because I've performed on those occasions for him many times.
Just to finish off, what are your personal goals for this upcoming season?
Personal goals is obviously to stay fit and healthy. That's the main one. Football can be cruel. Seen that last season, is to be fit and healthy on the pitch, and just to be an asset to my team. That's really it, and I think goals and performances will come with that, but just to try and help. If you help as much people as you can, it'll always reciprocate, and I think that showed last season with performances, and hopefully that'll go again this season.
Brilliant. Thank you,
Lovely.
Josh.
Thanks very much.